Here is a bike ride I took last Sunday. It was about 23 miles long. What I wanted to do is explore some of the areas to the west of me. I live in Peralta Trails, which is off of Peralta Road here. And I wanted to see a couple of things. I wanted to see if there was a way to get across the canal, but it appears not. They've got it pretty wired up pretty good. I might be wrong, but every place I've looked, it was wrapped up pretty good. The other thing I wanted to check out was the proposed Elliott Road extension. Here's Elliott Road. Supposedly there's going to be a road that goes all the way across to 60 at some point in time. It was Apache Junction owns a good portion of this, and recently they got another portion from the state. It was annexed to them from the state land trust, I think. So let's take a look at that. Also the speed, I went 23 miles. I don't know if I mentioned that, but at averaged about 6.5 miles an hour. There was a couple places where I did almost go 15, 16 in fact. So anyway, let's take a look at some of the places I've been, and also the proposed, the annex, and it's actually been sold, from what I understand, to some builders, and I'm not sure who bought it, but let me show that. Here's the land that was annexed, I understand, from the state to the city. So there's a big portion of here, and like I said, I think a builder has actually built it. Now this is Ironwood Road here. I did get close to the top of it at one time here, and also previously I've been here a couple of different ways. Let me show you a couple of these. One is this one here. I actually came across here, made it to a fence here at the canal. There was a good fence there and couldn't get through. Another time, all these green ones are other times I've been here. And actually, this is a proposed one. I never made this. I got stopped right there, but I proposed to go around there, but I never did. Even so, there was no way that I could see to get across there of the canal. So, and let's see, another time was here. This one time I went across this way and looked around here. This is the, like I mentioned, the dump for Apache Junction. Anyway, that's where I've been before. I think there might be one more. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think this one. Now, I've actually gone this way before too, and to the same end. So that was the all the ways I've been out here. It's interesting out here. Saw a lot of cattle. I saw a couple of coyotes and a couple of rabbits. And usually I don't see any rabbits out here. It's usually around the populated areas where I guess there's water or whatever. But I did see one rabbit, cottontail, out here. So let's fly it. Let me get rid of all these. Okay, I cleared them out, and let's take a look at the, let's fly it and see what you think. So I started from my backyard, went down here. You can't jump over a fence there, but I decided not to. They haven't, the association. And let me show you this real quick too. This is, you can actually stop this, I think, he says. Let me show you over time what it is, what it looks like now. There's actually a road here. I just want the problem is with Google Earth, it does do a timeline, and the better timeline with a 3D is actually older than this one. So this one, right till here, you can go on a road. This is really a trail right here, but it's not bad. You cut through here, and you can come down the road if I wanted to. I could go all the way down the road and then cut across here. And you can see there's two ways you can come back because there's two lines. This is the power line trail, and there's two roads here, so you can take that. And I take that all the way to Bashes. Right here is Bashes. Now let's go into 3D so you can see it a little bit better. We'll turn this off, the timeline, and it'll take a minute to refresh here. There we go. And you can see I went through the backyard of Bashes and then went over here. And there's a fence right here. I had to throw the bike over the fence. But let's continue to fly it, or fly it. And now you see the 3D stuff. I just wanted to show you the roads and that you can get there pretty much. And then you get to the dirt road that goes all the way to, it goes through Mountain Brook and then goes all the way to Bashes. So cut across here, gone down. Let's speed it up a bit. And this is all pretty straightforward. Now there's two ways. One way, and especially if you got a vehicle, or a bike, you have to go through this property here. And I did that on the way back. I did go down here before, and I just missed the turn off here. I went the wrong way. So I came down here and then went across. There's Wahoo's there. So I go through here. This is Mountain Brook. Now, sometimes I miss that one, but here's the dirt road. It's a little dirt path, bike path that goes off of this section here, and you can take that, and it's pretty decent. You can either go close to the golf course, or you can go here. There's a trail here too. So anyway, and then I cut through here, you'll see. And then that's where I hopped the fence right there, and then took this road. It's pretty good, decent road right here. And then you turn to the left, and the road turns, and then you can turn here and then go across. And this is where I saw most of the cows. A lot of the cattle were out here, and I think this is where they have water pits and that sort of thing. And also, this is the power line trail that goes west. I don't know if it's not a huge power line, but well, you can see it. It's pretty good. And then I cut down here. Now, I did go across here, and this is really interesting. I'll post some pictures and show you some pictures. But I'll post the pictures on Facebook, and then on YouTube I'll actually show them as part of the video. But there was a huge thing here, and I thought, what the heck is that? They've got all these white boxes, and I wondered what the heck was that. But it turned out they were beehives. Luckily, I didn't get too close, but they weren't very active. It was pretty warm. I was surprised that they weren't more active, but I guess they were all hiding out in there. And now here's where I went through here, thinking I could get across to the canal. But there's a good fence here, and they warned you that not to cross and all that stuff, so I didn't. That's where I went over to see the beehives, and then cut down here. Now there's a road on the top of this. There's sort of like a little ledge here. Let me show you that. Now there's, like I mentioned, this is the sewage treatment plant, and then you can get up on the high end in the road, and I was thinking, well, I could do that, but I wasn't sure, so I stayed to the road on the bottom. I did go up once to look at it, and it was interesting. I'm not understand exactly what's going on here. I don't know if this used to be another dump here or if that's where they do the sewage or something. I don't know. But anyway, it was interesting. And then came back. Now, it looks like you can get through here, but that's a good barbed wire fence, and you can't. And even so, you wouldn't be able, they have a good fence around here, and you wouldn't be able to get up onto Ironwood. And that's where I'd like to get to eventually, but there's no way right now until they do the Elliott loop or the Elliott Road that goes to 60 before they do that. At least nothing I found. Now there was a barbed wire fence here, and I thought, well, a gate, and I thought, no, I won't jump over there. But then I had to down here. I had to get on the baseline. This is baseline here in the golf course, and then I went along baseline. Speed it up some. Pretty decent here. Very little traffic. Well, there was some, but they were going pretty fast. I think it's 40, 45, but some of them were going a little faster than that. And then I came to the end here, and you can't. I was hoping to get across here because I knew there was a road here, and probably I could have cut here and gone down the road, but I turned and went up, and went up there, and now this is. I thought, oh, a road. I can get across there, or I can go back to where I saw. Well, it turns out this is the on-ramp or the off-ramp from I-60, and I was going down that. The problem is there's a gate, there's a fence right here, so I got back on here and then went back along the off-ramp and then back to the Lutheran church up here, he says, right there, Mark's church, and then cut across this road. Now this road goes all the way to the end here, and then you there's a gate there, but it's not, you can actually get through with horses and or bikes. They just have a small thing you got to lift it over. And the same with here, and then I went across here, and we've got, now right here, this is Silly Mountain, and it was kind of neat to be able to go here. I guess I could come up if I wanted to hike it, or even bike it. I wonder if you could bike it. But you could go up and around. I have gone on the other side of it before on the bike, if I remember right. But it was a little awkward. I came up through here and cut through the neighborhood, and I'm not sure if that was legit. So anyway, then I went back to where I started. It was a good 23 miles, 3.5 hours. There's Bashes, and went back through the backyard again. And like I mentioned, I went a little different this time. I made a right turn instead of a left. I should have made a left and then came through there. That was Kings Ranch Road. And then came back the way I came, mostly. So that was it. Good bike ride. I got a brand new bike. I'll show you pictures of that too, either on Facebook or on YouTube. Here is a bike I got recently. It's a really nice bike, and I wanted to test it out, so I took a long bike ride with it. Here I am going towards Bashes from my backyard in Peralta Trails, and also there was construction going on. Nice view of the soups, don't you think? But anyway, they're building a whole bunch more houses in, this is Peralta Canyon, and next to Peralta Trails off of Peralta Road. But I went through here. You can follow the power line road. Then I got to 60 and crossed the road at 60. This is 60 and Superstition Mountain Boulevard. And so I crossed the road there. There's actually a clicker so a pedestrian can go across, and then you got to cross 60. You don't want to do it when there's traffic because they're crazies. Here's I'm going, after I threw the bike over the gate, I went down the road here and met my first cows and some birds, and everybody seemed happy, although there wasn't a lot of vegetation. I didn't see any fire damage, but the birds were out, and the cows finally noticed me. And so I went whizzing by. They didn't bother me, and I thought, oh, cool. And then there was a bunch of cows in a corral. I'm not sure how they got out to get water or stuff, but maybe there was a gate or something. And then continued down the road. It's really nice for bikes right here. There are a couple of places that wasn't so nice, but that was really nice. And then there was this water, looked like, a water meter right there, and then it had a little drainage, and there was some water, and you could tell the cows had been drinking out of it. And from there was some nice views of Flatiron and ironing board there. And kind of give you a little perspective, that was a close-up. This is a little bit more realistic. This is a panoramic view of it. And then I met some other cows. They were, at first they didn't pay any attention to me at all. They didn't come towards me, they didn't go away from me, and they didn't run away like I've sometimes seen them. And they were curious about what I was doing there, obviously. They looked at me, and they had calves. And then I met a couple of cattle farther down, and they had a couple of calves farther down. And then they started coming towards me, the whole gang of them, and I thought, oh, do they think I'm feeding them, or do they think they're protecting their calves? I don't know, but I got out of there very quickly, went down the road. This is actually the dump for Apache Junction. It's a gorgeous hill that they built for the dump. And then I saw this, and I had no idea what it was at first. And then I went closer and closer, and sure enough, there were beehives, and bunches of them, as you can see. Wow, and then I went further down the road. Now this is the road next to the, I assume that's a runoff canal down below. That's not the real canal, because the real canal had water in it. But that's looking to the north. The other one was looking to the south. And then I got to the end, and then I found this water, for the cows, and yet their bees were all around it. No cows around it, but a whole bunch of bees. And then there was this water tank. I don't know how it pumped the water, if it got it from the canal or something, but it was nice. And you can see the barbed wire fence. To prevent you from going over, they let you know. You can't go hiking, you can't go swimming, you can't go fishing. So anyway, and then I went up. I wanted to see what the plateau was up on the plateau. And I think the plateau is when they get so much rain, they don't, they can't support down below, so they have to have a road up above. And then as I got up to there, you could see Flatiron again. I like Flatiron. Then here's the road along the ridge line there. You can look down and see the other road down below, and that's up there. And then I took another picture of the valley, which it might have looked like this, 100 years ago, but without all the little houses down there. And then I took another picture down the road. I can't remember where this is. I think that's the road along Baseline, and this is the road along Baseline, or is probably Baseline itself. I had to jump the fence between the road that was parallel with Baseline and Baseline itself. So here's Baseline, and it was pretty easy. There's a couple of places you wanted to be careful because you had to go up on the road, but it was pretty easy going for the bike. And then birds were watching me as I'm going pedaling down the road. And then I found another road that went off after I went the wrong way down the off-ramp from I-60. I couldn't get down any farther. I went down this road. This is Southern, and I went to the end of it. I took another picture of Flatiron, which as you can tell, I like a lot. I take a lot of pictures of it. And then it went, that's Silly Mountain right here, past it. I went past it. I didn't get any good pictures of Silly Mountain, but anyway, you can see the road wasn't really super nice. And if you want to watch these, you can watch them on, you can look at them closer on Facebook as well.